Hello folks, this is Jolly Wombat from the Vertex forums. Today we are going to have the unboxing of the Cerebra V7. I guess it's no longer the V2, it is the V7 officially. Just came in earlier today, just had a chance now to start taking a look at it. This is going to be my first look at it and yours out in the wild. Don't expect too much to be too crazy about this, since we've seen a lot of the preview videos online of what it's going to look like and the sneak peeks on the forums, and it's been at a couple trade shows now, but still good to actually see it out in the wild here and make sure of what we're actually going to get. So let's open this up and take a look. Big thanks to Vertex for sending this in advance so I can take a look at it and make these videos and give you guys an opinion on it. It's been a long time in the coming. Well, it looks like it's well packaged, if nothing else. Vertex sent some swag. Looks like they've got a couple officially branded shirts here. Big thanks to Vertex for that. See what we got. As you can tell, this is the first time I'm opening the box with you guys here, so go for the surprise with you guys. We will look at stuff in depth in just a moment. I'm going to get everything unboxed and placed on the table here. Here's our power bar. Okay, that looks like that's everything from the package. Let's take a look at what we got. Okay, first up, the infamous power bar, or we're calling it multi-bar. I'm not sure what we are anymore. Looks pretty good. It's still that aluminum extrusion, so nice, heavy, solid build. All in black here. It doesn't have that clear plexi that it used to have, so solid black. They did update it to 8 outlets now instead of the original 6, so that's pretty cool. Indicator lights are on this end now. Not too much else looks different. None of the probes, as you can see, hook up to the bar anymore. Looks like there's just a USB type B there, and probably the fuse connector. Power cord seems thick. It is a 14 AWG cord thickness, so we won't have the issues that we had the first time with too thin a power cord. Causing some issues with potential voltage spikes and amperage. It's a pretty solid power bar still. Looks like they went with the original mounting tracks that they had on the original power bars there. So nothing too surprising here. And I'm guessing something like a maybe 8-foot power cord here, 6 to 8 foot. But it's still a very heavy and bulky power bar, just like the last one. Here is what I'm assuming is the head unit of the device. Looks pretty nice. Vertex with their nice red and white color scheme there. Box is plastic, housing the Raspberry Pi, which is more than likely right on this side here. The PCB controlling the ORP ports, DINs, everything like that probably sits on top of it here. And then they have probably some additional power distribution in here somewhere, but we'd have to take it apart to look. But looks pretty good overall. We've got analog 1, 2, and 3, power connection, HDMI and AV out, LAN connection, 4 USB ports, mini DINs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and a mini DIN connection probe port. Then we have the standard B and C connectors for conductivity, oxygen, pH1, pH2, and redox. Looks pretty good overall. It looks like we've got a little slide here on the side to be able to get at what looks like probably the micro SD card would go in here, if I can tell. The only gotcha is there does not look like there is a micro SD card in the unit currently. I don't know if you can see that, but that it may cause us some fun if we don't actually have a micro SD card here. We will take a look at that offline here in just a moment. In the box, what I'm assuming is our touchscreen for the unit, and that is it. Okay. Something like probably a 7-inch touchscreen, it looks like. Looks fairly nice. Got the nice Vertex logo in the bottom there, with connectors on the side for full-size HDMI and micro USB. No other connectors on it, and it's got what I'm assuming is going to be their mounting bracket set up here. So I'm guessing somewhere in the packaging here there is bracketing for that. So we'll take a look at that. If you didn't notice as well, the head unit also has that same mounting on the back. Not sure if you can see it in the camera there with the glare. Okay, otherwise we have USB cable A and B connectors on it to connect the power bar to the head unit. We have a 3-meter HDMI cable, full size to full size, for connecting the touch screen to the head controller unit here. Next up we got, yes, this is one of the brackets for mounting either the touch screen or the head unit itself. So that slides right into there, and you would then screw through these little holes into whatever you're going to mount it onto, your wall, your stand, etc. I'm guessing they have a slightly larger one for this inside the packaging here yet. Yep, here it is right here for the head unit itself. Perfect. We have the 3 mounting screws, 6 mounting screws. Fairly small little guys, but none of the head unit or the touch screen controller weigh all that much, so these will be more than sufficient. Let's see what we got here. We have a micro USB to USB connector here. Seems fairly long. I'm going to take a wild guess that it's probably 3 meters, just like the HDMI cable. This will be connecting the touchscreen to the main unit for the touch functionality. The HDMI is purely for the video out. Got something else here. Let's see what it is. Okay, this is the new temperature probe. And as we saw, it is the mini DIN connector again, instead of the USB that it used to be. Black instead of that clear plexi, really thick plexi that they had last time that caused a lot of issues with sensitivity of the temperature and temperature changes. Vertex stated that this is a titanium temperature probe now. It's clearly encased in plastic, but the end there, as you may or may not be able to see, is metal of some kind. Can't verify it's titanium, but I'll take their word for it. We have the mounting brackets that you're probably used to for the power bar. They slide into the back of the unit once they connect in with those little hex screws there. And lastly, I'm assuming this is going to be the power adapter for the entire unit. Surprisingly, they picked a white cord instead of black to match the rest of the unit there, but it is standard 5 volt 250 or 2.5 amps. So nothing too special, and that is everything in the box there. I had requested that Vertex send me both conductivity and pH probes so we could get some testing on those right away, since a lot of folks are curious about that, and we had a bunch of issues with the old unit with those, but it doesn't look like those made it into the packaging. I thought Ben said he at least included the pH probe, but maybe they just ran out of stock on that, so we will have to find out about it. I'm going to take a look offline here and try to find out why there does not appear to be a SD card in the unit here. If there isn't one, that's going to be a little bit of a problem, as the unit will do nothing without an operating system to boot up. But at least we got to see the hardware here in the flesh. It does look pretty cool, no doubt about that. It's a very neat unit. Very excited to see what it looks like booted up, if we've got any cool LED action in here for status and so forth. The touchscreen seems fairly nice. All of it weighs pretty decent amount. It seems like it's fairly decent quality overall. I really like the aesthetic touch that Vertex put in of using the, I don't know if you can see it, but Vertex used red screws here to mount all the box connections. So it's just a nice little touch that they put into the units here that kind of helps make it a little bit more of a premium product. So looks really good. I'm gonna take this offline, as I said, and I'm gonna look into what's going on with the SD card. Enjoy your first look, folks.